Hello, my name is Dan. I recently looked at American Airlines schedule on Flight Radar 24 back in November 13, 2021. I made a full Excel sheet with every flight, including the time, flight number, and aircraft type, and I noticed a few things, so I thought why not make a video about my observations. First of all, Miami is the main gateway into Latin America for the United States, with American Airlines being the dominating airline at the airport. American got a total of 67 domestic destinations, plus 65 in Latin America, 2 in Canada, 5 transatlantic, and Bermuda. Most of the connections made in Miami are between the United States and Latin America, but I'm pretty sure connections are also made between Mexico and the Caribbean, as well as connections between Europe and Latin America. I also think some connections are also possible between Europe and the southern United States, even if they're often more convenient through other cities like Atlanta or Philadelphia. There's also a lot of local demand going into Miami, not just connecting traffic. There's a huge Latin American population in Florida, which makes Miami a very good place for flights into Latin America. It's also a very popular tourist destination, so it's perfect for flights from the rest of the United States and Europe. You can have passengers fly locally into Miami and then fill the planes and add frequencies by bringing people and have them change planes at Miami to go wherever they need to go. During the week between the 5th to the 11th of December, the destination with the most weekly frequencies are New York LaGuardia with 93, Dallas Fort Worth with 68, Washington National with 63, Chicago and Orlando with 62. Then after this, it's Tampa, Charlotte, New York JFK, Atlanta, Los Angeles, Philadelphia, Boston, Jacksonville with over 45 frequencies. The most frequent international destination is San Juan, Puerto Rico with 42, but since it's technically a US territory, then it's Santo Domingo, also with 42, followed by Cancun, Nassau, and Mexico City. The cities with the most passengers out of Miami, including other airlines as of 2021, are Atlanta, New York JFK, Dallas Fort Worth, Newark, Chicago O'Hare, Los Angeles, and others. The top international routes, including other airlines, are kind of hard to tell thanks to the pandemic, but in 2018, the top routes were Sao Paulo, London Heathrow, Buenos Aires, Havana, and Panama City. This is the map of all the destinations with at least 49 flights. For 29 to 49 frequencies, the ones with 15 through 28 frequencies, from 8 to 14, the ones with one daily flight or 7 weekly frequencies, and the ones with less than 7 weekly flights. There are also other destinations that have no flights, probably because they are either suspended or they're seasonal. Now, how does American Airlines schedule their flights in Miami? Many of the short haul domestic destinations that have only one flight a day tend to stay overnight at their destinations, except for those in the West Coast, which tend to use red eye flights to go back into Miami. There are also short haul flights into the Caribbean and South America that also have one daily flight, or less. These ones tend to be scheduled in the afternoon. Long haul flights into Europe are red eyes taking off in the late afternoon and then they'll land over there in the morning. And then they come back to land in Miami in the afternoon on the next day, except for Tel Aviv flights, which don't come back until the morning 2 days later. Long haul Miami flights to South America tend to take off at night to land in South America in the morning. They can't really come back immediately. If they do, they'll land back in the evening, missing out on tons of connections. So they have to sit around until the evening to arrive in Miami in the morning. That way, they'll be able to carry as many connections as possible throughout the day. On a normal day, this being November 13, 2021, the day begins with a bunch of flights from South America landing between 5 and 7 a.m., a lot of them being red-eye flights. At this time also arrive flights from Tel Aviv, Mexico City, and some red-eyes from the West Coast. At this time also, there are a few departures to other American Airlines hubs. The arrivals before 7 a.m. then connect to other flights that depart from 7 a.m. to around 10:30-ish when there are a lot of departures into many US cities, though there are a few exceptions to a few Caribbean destinations and Mexico City. Between 7:30 and 10:30, tons of flights arrive, mostly from the US. Right before flights to South America and the Caribbean begin departing again after 10 a.m. until around 1 p.m. Between 10:30 and 12:30, there are also a lot of arrivals that are mixed. A lot of them come from other US cities, but a few of them arrive from the south, after which between around 1 p.m. and 5:30 p.m., most departures are northbound to US cities. Paris flights also depart at 5, while Iberia's Madrid flight departs at 5:30. Between 1 and 5, also most arrivals are from US cities. European flights also begin arriving during the same arrival bank as well. These include British Airways, Iberia, and Qatar Airways flights. All of these connect into South America on evening and night flights that depart between 5:30 and 7 p.m., along with some flights into Europe, including British Airways. The next arrival bank includes a flight from London and more from Latin America between 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. to connect into domestic flights. These domestic flights depart between 7 p.m. until basically the end of the night. The final Latin American flights depart after 7:30 p.m. along with the last domestic flights. Most transatlantic flights depart after 7, including a second Iberia flight that departs after 10. A lot of planes arrive after 8 p.m. from US cities until around 10, including Iberia's second flight, around 8 p.m., right on time before the last departures for South America after 10. So that is how American Airlines schedules their hub operations at Miami International Airport. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. It's been one of the most interesting analyses I've made so far. If y'all got any advice on how I can improve or any criticisms, comments, or anything, y'all can leave a comment. That's all I've got to say, and I'll see y'all later.